So I remember you saying that Satan wants to abort the upcoming revival, which I found myself praying not only just for a national revival in America, but I've been praying for an international revival as well. And I remember you brought it up the last time. And so I rewatched our last interview last night, the whole thing. I was like, I want to just be refreshed on
Yeah.
what was stated. So I do see Satan going up against God, in the media. I see, people saying every time Donald Trump says something, he can say something right out of the Bible. I'm just saying, they
Are
will
you?
say he's being a fascist, he's being a dictator, he's trying to dictate Christianity on us. I mean, whatever they say, whatever he says, they're going to demonize it. So, when do you think that this revival is going to take place?
This revival is already ongoing.
Hmm.
It's already started. And like I said I don't know if I mentioned in the last time, I think I mentioned the movement where I belong to, Holiness Revival Movement. I
Hmm.
wasn't part of that church before. I was a minister with Redeem RCCG
Hmm.
for about 11 years.
Hmm.
It was God, when I was done with my master's in theology, it was God who told me that he sent me to where he wants me to serve him.
Hmm.
And that was how I moved to Holiness Revival. And God took me to Holiness Revival
Hmm.
Movement. And he told us here that this is his own personal ministry here on earth. And he raised it for the end time. It's for the revival of truth, holiness, and righteousness to the body of Christ in preparation for his soon coming.
Hmm.
Now, that revival is already ongoing, and you can see a pocket of it across all face of America. You can
Hmm.
see it everywhere, happening in different stages, in different level. But some people has not come to full holiness, but or understanding of holiness or truth of God. But at least they are waking up to the awareness that Christ is King, and
Hmm.
they need Jesus. So the whole world is coming, and you can see a lot of people even standing up now because of they've tasted evil, they've seen evil, and they are waking up here and there. You can see some of these trans people detransitioning, and they're coming out to vote Trump and speak against these things.
Hmm.
So you're seeing a lot of things going on. You see a lot of people on Tucker Carlson. Look at Joe Rogan. Look at people. You can see it everywhere across the social media. People now
I
talking
love it.
more about People now talking more about God, talking more about Jesus. It's a conversation now. So it's already happening. But what God raised up Trump to do is that there's never been a revival of this magnitude in history, that there is not a powerful authority that allowed the platform for it to fully thrive.
It's
Otherwise,
absolutely amazing.
Satan will suppress it. When you look at the scriptures, you see the same thing. When you look at in contemporary time, you see Constantine in his time. So
Oh
you will
yeah.
see, yeah. So you will see the same pattern. Without
Hmm.
that, that will never happen. So now, what is already brewing underneath across all spheres of life in America and in the world,
Hmm.
God is going to use Trump as an instrument to set the stage, to make laws that blocks things, to go against those things that hinder Christianity from thriving, the powers that be. So he's going to use him to suppress, to break down those. And he's not, he's not silent about it. He's very open about it. But it's not going to be like the 2016 his reign, his first term. This one is going to be different. Like I said, the Republicans will win the Senate House by a massive landslide. I've said it's all over the video. I put it on, and they're going to win. They maintain their lead in the House with a greater margin.
Hmm.
Trump will change laws. Trump will pass laws with ease. This reign, is going to be a smooth one. A lot of things will happen. He will silence evils. The point is that evil is celebrated. See, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump overturns gay marriage. I wouldn't be surprised, but
Wow,
I'm not
that has
expecting.
come to, oh, that has come to my mind.
Exactly.
I was thinking about that. I said, he hasn't really said, he has in a way, because he's totally against the twin stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
You do this, you're gonna lose your accreditation, your funding. You're not gonna be messing with these kids out here, which
yeah.
I agree with that.
Mhm.
They should lose their funding, because if you lose money, then wait a minute, we better stop.
Let me tell you something that happened, because people don't understand how bad this thing is. I was in the school having a parent teachers meeting in the school. Was it this month?
Mm-hmm.
in one of my children's school here, and we were having, because they were giving the gay book or whatsoever, the alphabet community book to read. Because of your video, that's why I want to use the alphabet. I call them what it is. So they were given this book to read,
Mm-hmm.
and the child brought it to the mother,
Mm-hmm.
and they brought attention. So we went to the school. They called a meeting, and so I went there. So, and I really gave it to them hot. But there is one thing that I asked them. They brought out their curriculum for the distance, and they say, "Oh, it's about diversity, it's about inclusion, about touching all areas and whatever that is this and strong." They were trying to pander these things to parents. And as I was going through, they have things about women. Book one, I think one book about women. They had one book about black whatever. One book about Muslim. No book at all about Christianity. Then, when it came to the alphabet community, they had 3 books that they have to read, and one of them is "Waiting for You to Die so that I will become, so that I can be myself." And I asked the principal, she's a female, I said, "If your daughter," I said, "look at the title of the book. Just the title alone is so evil and so demonic. Say, can your daughter tell you this and you sleep well at night? Tell you that, or your father or your son tell you, I'm waiting for you to die so I can be myself." And you'll be happy. You take it as a compliment. You'll be smiling. "Oh, my son, my daughter told me what a
It's so
wonderful."
wicked. It's
This,
so
they're
ugh.
pushing this evil like as if, and this is just a handful of people. A one parent was talking about how one of his friend's son killed himself, who they transitioned like that. That one had to hang himself. Realize, hey, they've been messed up for life, but they are going unreported. You don't see it. Many children are mentally and emotionally affected by these books when they read them, because you're teaching a child that this thing will take you to hell, and all of a sudden they go to school and they're reading the same thing that, imagine the emotional trauma, the same thing that they've learned as a Christian, that this is evil and demonic in the sight of God. And that is what the people they trust, I would say they even trust more, the most, even above their parents, is teaching them that this is right. So imagine how that messes up their brain, and how the children, why you
Yes, of
see
course,
so much
because
sickness.
they're young.
Yeah,
These are kids. They're doing it in elementary schools. These are children
yeah,
who you can manipulate and, shape their minds. And so that's why they're starting it early. And I
yeah.
believe it's part of a depopulation movement. And I don't know if you've
I,
noticed it as
I agree
well.
with
They really push it. If I don't even look at modern TV shows unless I know they don't have that in it.
you.
But a lot of the shows I noticed were the characters that were part of the alphabet community, they were always black.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've noticed it. There's a show I used to watch, 911. They had 2 gay couples. One was 2 women, one was 2 men, but they were both all black. And I noticed it in another show. All the gay characters were black. And I said, you know what?
you
They
know,
pushing this on us
you-
more than
ex- ex-
anybody.
exactly, because why? They always race baiting. So when they use the race, the black that they use for race baiting to promote this stuff, you can't really come hard at them. You are afraid because they will say, "Oh, he's a racist. He's only doing this because he's black." See why they do that? Look at Don Lemon, the face of CNN. Look at all these shows, and then look, and also when they want to do evil, look at all the prosecution that, all the what I call it, persecution that Trump went to, the lawfairs. They raise up black men and black women.
They
So,
do.
is to form a kind of shield, a race shield
Right.
against offenses. So they know what they're doing. See, one thing you can't take away from the Democrats is their strategic moves. They're very strategic. They are well coordinated. Whatever they are doing, have a well, thought out plan behind it, and layers of defense to protect that thing. So that's what you see. That's why you see they use the black as the face for those things. So you can't really come out at it, especially when, and most of the people that really have the voice or be able to speak about this against these things are usually the Caucasians. They are mostly the people in power who has the authority and power and whatever. So when you come out, "Oh, he's a racist," and everybody's afraid of being called a racist. Who want to be called a
I know it's
racist?
like the worst thing. They're so scared to say anything because I feel bad for white people
Yeah,
because if they have a complaint, I'm talking about a legitimate complaint
yeah,
against someone black. It is
mhm,
not, they're not saying it because they're black.
yeah,
They're saying it aside from that. They're not,
yes,
let's say I do something wrong.
mm,
I take something from my neighbor and they complain. and my neighbor's white. They can't say something against me if I did something wrong, that they're gonna be called a racist. It has nothing to do with them. They make it about them.
Exactly.
Donald Trump has said some horrible things against people who happen to be black, but when you research those people, they really are horrible.
Exactly. And he's not saying it because of race. Trump has never been a racist. And this also God revealed to me by revelation, that the man has no iota of racism in his nation.
He doesn't.
This one is God who revealed this to me very clearly, that he did things I will not be able to do as a black man. You know, so I saw it. That's why I knew that I've known that was in 2020. There is no iota of racism in this man. You can see it not just by revelation alone, you can see it by his character. He has never been a racist until he ran for president as a Republican.
I know, that's when he became a racist.
Yeah, that when he became a racist. They say the Trump is on over 300 rap songs. Every black man, all rappers rapping, they want to be the black Donald Trump. He has been a motivator to the black community. He has supported many black community to like stand on their feet, to get into business, giving them loans, giving them free money, not even just loans.
He didn't even want them to pay it back.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So he's really helped, and you know, you can't. He was the only person, known figure, renowned figure, that stood beside Jesse Jackson twice that he ran, gave him a free office in his building in New York for his campaign, supported him publicly, openly. So what is racist about this guy? He has a black woman who has lived in his house now for free for about 10 to 11 years, who was homeless, that they asked him, kicked him out, because who came there to squat? He said, kick him out. He said, no, let her stay. Give her food, give her breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and give her a bucket of flour every week. That woman is still there, living there now. She's the one who spoke up herself. And the thing is, Trump don't talk about these things or brag about these things. The man has the fear of God. The man knows that what God says, what your left hand is doing, let your right hand does not know about it. He doesn't brag with the good he does. And that tells you the level of the fear of God, that and knowledge of God that the man has. He's not our pastor. He's not the ideal model of Christianity or a holy Christian. But however, the man understands the things of God in some certain degree, and you can see it in his lifestyle. Say, by their fruits you shall know them. Is he perfect? Far from it. Does he still need to know a lot? Yes, he needs to know a lot about God. He does. Yes, I'm praying for perfect understanding of God's way and repentance and holiness for him, because I don't want him to do this great work and end up in hell, which many, and not just because of his Trump, because many people are pointing hands at Trump. People who I know they wouldn't even go to heaven if they die now. Pastors, Christians who I know they will never see God if Jesus should come now or if they should die now. But they point Trump at their hands at Trump and call him evil. He doesn't know God. He's not truly a Christian. I'm wondering, are you truly a Christian? Do you think you are a Christian?
I know.